Good evening, Texas bikers and bikers all across the nation. This is Texas Biker Radio, number 429. My name is Mel Popeye Moss.
Mel O.G. Robbins.
We are with Sons of Liberty Riders MC, who are the sponsors of this show each and every week. And the title of tonight's show is Scorched Earth. That's right. We're going to pull no punches about what's happening tonight and what's going to happen tomorrow and maybe beyond. So, OG, are you ready to get started?
I guess. Lord, 2020 was a bitch. I certainly hope 2021 isn't our worst nightmare.
Well, let me tell you, it's starting out not really, real good right now tonight. And OG's fixing to tell you why.
Yeah, shortly before I came over here to the Green Dragon, I was watching the streaming on the results from Georgia. At that point in time, we were approximately 40% of the vote, and all three seats, the Democrats are ahead by about 10%.
Yeah. Now, there's still a lot of counties out there, and like he said, it's 40%. But in the heavy populated areas, they're getting their asses kicked, and that would be DeKalb County and some other areas, and you know why that is. We don't have to explain that to you. But let us point out that the machine that was there on November 3rd is still in place. The people that committed the fraud is still in place. And yes, I did say the word that you're not supposed to say. I did it last night, and, our videos are still up. So, knowing that's going on right now, and the despots are still there, it kind of makes sense that it would happen all over again. But I do have to believe they're doing it in front of poll watchers, because I haven't heard anybody bitching about that.
Well, it's the magic of the software behind the scenes.
That's true.
Poll watchers can't see that bullshit going
No,
on.
no. So we'll see how this plays out going forward. Because if you can have it once, you can have it twice. And it gets easier each time it happens. It gets easier. So let us say real quick hi to some people on the chat line. Ironhead, how are you doing? Jerry, how are you doing? Mike Matisse, a.k.a. Dutch.
We got Redneck.
Chuck Bayless, Redneck, and Mater's Workshop. You guys, if you would, hit your like buttons and share right now. Yeah. Let's bring some more folks in.
Well, we got a chance here. Let's say thank you to someone.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to have to show me the phone again because I can't remember the name. Can you?
No, but I'll find it real quick.
We received a donation from a gentleman up in Canada, and that was nice because we don't really promote y'all for money all the time. We try not to do that, but basically we don't have much revenue to keep this place going, but we are able to do it
Yeah,
month after month.
we've
So
been doing it year after year also.
any contributions are gratefully received. All you have to do is go to texaspikerradio.org, and there's a donate button right there. And let's see the name of that gentleman. He's in Canada, and his name is Ted. I'm going to pronounce it Wazonek, and he is in Canada. So we thank you, and hope you have a great year up there.
Yeah, better year than we're having so far. And it's only a week old. But yeah, OG's right. We're self-funded, and you know we're not here to sell you a T-shirt, a coffee mug, or anything like that. We're here to seek the truth and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and those who've had their constitutional rights violated. Now a lot of times we're working on cases of bikers that find themselves at the mercy of the law and had their constitutional rights violated, like we have going on in Texas now. But we've also gone out into the community where people have had hardships, like Sand Branch, Texas, a black community. An old slave community that's been around since, what, OG, 1887? I think it was.
Yeah, it's called a free slave community.
And that community had their wells destroyed that they depended on for water by a waste treatment plant. And get this, they had been hauling water into their community for 30 years. 30 years. Think of that. And so there's been some movement. There's been some movement on getting that community water. Finally. And other things like the lady that had her home attacked by people on the left in 2016 because of her support for Trump. We went to her properties. We surrounded her home. And we seeked out the perpetrators that were harassing her, that were destroying her property, and were threatening her. And we went and knocked on their door and told them we knew who they were and we were going to hold them accountable This is what happens when you start holding people accountable.
Of course, having half a dozen to a dozen motorcycles parked in the cul-de-sac
Yeah,
while you're beating on their door probably did raise his tension.
yeah,
as
that
well.
got their attention. Yeah. So this is the type things we do. Now we don't have to be leading the pack. There's many times we join in with other groups. As long as the if we think the cause is righteous. So this is what we do. But let's get on with it, OG. Let's get on with it. I don't have a lot of pictures and stuff to show you tonight. Matter of fact is we seldom do. But we're going to scorch the hell out of everything right now. You know, let me say this as a veteran. We're both veterans. OG was in the Air Force. I was in the Navy. But think about this, everybody. We've had young men went to foreign lands to protect our country. They either didn't come back home. Many came back wounded and maimed forever. And many have walked the walk, who believed in their oath. And now we have not only a foreign entity that has sought to, I guess, OG, what would you say, overthrow?
No better word.
Along with a domestic group. And I would call it the Democratic Party, who has been compromised. Now the people, the patriots of this country, cannot sit idly by when young men went off to foreign lands. We can't sit idly by and let this happen here at home. Let them just waltz in, by our politicians, by our judges, by bureaucrats, indoctrinate our children, and we see the results of that in the streets every night. Many of them are Antifa members. Many of them are BLM groups who are admitted communists. We can't sit idly by and watch this happen. We've got to raise some hell. And you need to contact your senator tonight. Email, whatever you do, go to Sidney Powell's website. She got a letter and a petition going on there right now. I just posted the link a while ago, and I'll put it below this video as long as it's still up. And like I said, our other videos are still up at YouTube. Maybe they're hedging their bets, I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. We cannot sit idly by. And you probably heard me say, I was going to go to D.C. Part of that was going to be financed by my stimulus check, which I did not get. And I make no place near in retirement to $87,000 a year. Go figure, everybody. Go figure. because I've been on the damn radar for a very long time. Is the IRS capable of fucking with me? They've done it before. They've done it before. So, and I'm an open book, especially my finances nowadays. I'm an open book.
Not too complicated when
Not
you're retired,
complicated
right?
at all, OG. Not complicated at all. I can do it on an easy form. Yeah. Just saying, everybody. Just saying. Because I'm pissed about it. But you know, when you go to check, where's my stimulus check? And then they send you back a message. Well, you're either not eligible or we're working on it. And you have no way it says, do not call the IRS. Who the hell are you supposed to call? Not Ghostbusters. That won't do you any good. So anyway, OG, it messed up my plans. And I'm here, but we're gonna go scorched earth tonight, tomorrow, and beyond if it's required. But man. And of course, like we mentioned, the Georgia cheaters are still in place. And, oh, gee, they were already hinting that the results may not be known until tomorrow, late tomorrow.
Well, they kind of have to repeat what they did last time, don't they?
Yeah.
Where everyone goes home, wink, wink,
Yeah.
and some truck will pull up and dump a bunch of ballots.
Yeah, I would think that they had learned their lessons about stopping in midstream, and that's not going to happen. They probably found now a way to do it without that.
Or they'll retweak the software
Yeah.
for a different algorithm.
Yes. So, like I said, it gets easier each time they do this and get away with it. It gets easier. That's the reason this needs to be stopped here and now. Is what needs to happen. And so, wow. Well, OG, what's going to happen tomorrow, January 6th? And what's going to happen is there's going to be overwhelming evidence that there was fraud in the November 3rd election. And yes, I said it again, YouTube. There's going to be overwhelming evidence thrown out there tomorrow. And you know, this is all going to be televised at noon tomorrow. Pence. Everything's going on. We're going to see history. Unless for some reason there's a news blackout.
Now that's what, noon East Coast time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if it's possible, we'll get a link up on TexasBikerRadio.org. You'll be able to watch it there, or we'll post it on Sons of Liberty Riders MC on the Facebook. That's if they allow it. They'll tell them what they're going to allow or not allow. I figure tomorrow will be, there won't be much of that. It'll be beyond that if it keeps going. If it keeps going. And you guys, this is going to be historic. And the evidence is going to include domestic and foreign interference in the 2020 election. Is what's going to happen. And I guess we can call it interference instead of using the F word. That's what we're going to do, guys. Yeah. That's what we're going to do. And so there's going to be overwhelming evidence. How anybody in the Congress, in the Senate, in their right minds, and unless they've been compromised by the deep state, the commies, or they're being blackmailed or having their families threatened. We don't know which one. But they've been warned they better get right. And as we said last night, and OG, buddy, anytime you want to, because once I get to rolling, I can't shut up. As we said last night, they've had fair warning. There's things they're going to find out about that we know all about as bikers. Civil asset forfeitures, things like that. When you're donating to something that you know is happening that's illegal, guess what? You're complicit. When you're participating and giving cover to the enemy, guess what? You're complicit. You listening, Mr. Zuckerberg? You listening? You don't need to be censoring anybody. You need to be telling the truth is what you need to be doing. You need to become a hero instead of a freaking goat over what I think may happen here in the coming days and weeks. This is what I see out there. This is what I'm hoping is out there. And that's the truth of it all. Let me say this. If you don't think there's any interference going on out there, and I almost said it, the F word. If you don't think that's happening or has happened, you've got your head so far up your arse you can't see or hear.
We could take a lesson from the RICO Act and call it a conspiracy.
That's right. Well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And if you've seen any of the things from Millennial Millie, any of the videos that we had posted at TexasBikerRadio.org of where those deep staters were planning in a Zoom call where they were actually saying, hey, this is a coup d'etat. And we're in charge. That's how they see themselves.
Technically, it would be the RICO Act.
Yes, it would.
It's a big criminal conspiracy.
Yeah, you hear that, Mr. Zuckerberg? And all you big tech guys?
Now, the RICO Act is a minimum, it's either 10 or 15 years in a federal pen.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Yeah. Maybe we can see that they get hard labor and not have tennis courts.
And be sold up with Bubba.
Yeah, Bubba. Bubba coming after you. Bubba coming after you. Boy, wouldn't that be sweet? Or they would think they're sweet. Yeah.
Well, Zuck looks like a sweet little thing.
He's a tender victuals, that's for sure. That's for sure. I mean, there's going to be stuff out there tomorrow like Dominion, the Dominion Corporation, the Dominion voting machines. You know, you realize they receive $400 million from China 60 days before the election. I mean, does that raise your eyebrows? Does it? And guess what? From what we understand, many of those Dominion voting machines had Chinese parts in them. Oh, yeah. Did you know that Dominion shares office space with George Soros in Canada? Hello, everybody. Hello. It's absolutely incredible, everybody. And all this stuff is going to be scorched earth like we've never seen tomorrow. And we're just doing a little of it tonight. Just a little. And we're going to be able to see all this play out live. That's unless there's a national media blackout to control the narrative. I mean, if they do that, what have they got to hide? And I would believe what they've got to hide is everything. Because as we've heard Trump say in certain tweets along the way, we've got it all. We've got it all. They've been monitoring this since the 2016 election, his first win. There was voter fraud going on then. It just wasn't enough to get the job done. There's been voter fraud here in Texas, just not enough to get the job done. And as you've heard us say, the voter fraud has got to stop here and now. We need to nip this in the bud. And that's where you and I and all the patriots, that's where we come in. Even this election tonight, if they go on to win, we've got to know it wasn't legit. It wasn't legit. And these people that win, if they win tonight, are compromised. They need to be exposed for what they are. And so I do believe that's what's going to happen here at some point. But Donald Trump wants to do this. He wants to do it through the Congress. He wants to win through the Congress. He doesn't want to have to use the last ditch or the last option. He really doesn't want to do that. But as we can tell, the courts at all levels has been compromised. The Supreme Court has been compromised, especially Roberts. And Lin Wood just goes all nuts on him.
Yeah.
Now, Lin Wood has really throwing out a lot of crap out there. I don't know if that's, if that's by design. Whether he just, is some ruse going on there.
I'm personally in favor of the theory that Robert's wife had a hell of a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Along with all the conversation you're hearing about these gutless wonders in our justice system, particularly the judges, that worry about their city burning to the ground.
Yeah.
If they take these cases, and it's being theorized at this point that a lot of stuff has been turned down. They refused to take it because they didn't want to see mass rioting, even though they knew it was the right thing to do.
Yeah. You know, as a judge, you can't let that kind of crap influence you. You can't do that. The first thing you should do when that kind of stuff happens is call the law. I mean, these are Supreme Court justices. Even the lower court justices, that's what they should do. If you're a patriot, you're going to take action against those that are taking action against you. Unless you've got something to hide.
There's some conversation going on right now in chat relative to the AT&T contract
Yeah,
being awarded to AT. Well, it was a contract awarded to AT&T to look into Dominion,
right.
into the servers.
I
and
heard
stuff.
that, yeah.
However, it has also been stated that this nutcase, and we'll never know now. We will
No.
never know. But they're trying to float the theory that the nutcase that delivered the bomb and stayed with it and became hamburger over it was really trying to do away with the 5K network. It would appear that we do have some people running around that are in fear for their health and welfare because of the 5K network. There's been relatively little activity in the United States. There have been a few relay stations that have been destroyed, things like that. It's apparently more active on a terrorist level in Europe. So, but that's the theory that's being floated. Don't know. We will never know.
Yeah,
And that's either by design or by fluke, but we got no way to know.
well, you know, the FBI pointed out that they couldn't interview the bomber.
Painfully obvious.
Yeah. That was news that day, yeah. And of course, we pointed out that, hey, there's been a lot of FBI failures over the years. And I would say this compromised election and everything that went on, they failed again. They failed the people once again. NAS, Homeland Security, all these people that listen in, they didn't know any of this was going on. They didn't know there was a coup d'etat going on. They didn't know any of this. When you have Millennial Millie, who has to call them and tell them, look what I got here. It's crazy. Now let me tell you about the latest theory that came out by Lin Wood and why I think it's BS. He's trying to say now, and he put it out there today, OG, that McCarthy and Pence are working against Trump, that they're going to throw him under the bus tomorrow. And let me tell you why I don't think that is. Number one, the patriots out there, the people that are in the streets, would never, never forgive them for that. Never. Number two, if this plays out and these crazies take over the White House, these communists, these socialists, whatever you want to call them, would be right. What did I just say a little bit ago? Each time they do this, it gets a little easier for them. They hone their craft. There's no way they're going to let them win. No way. So thinking they're going to run for the presidency in 2024, and that's what Lin Wood was basically saying, it's not going to work. It's not going to pan out because they're going to be able to do this again and again and again from now on. From now on. Think about that. That's the reason I'm saying this needs to be nipped in the bud now. And it needs to be nipped in the bud tomorrow. Tomorrow. And we'll take care of whatever happens from there. Now, the other side is going to throw a fit like we've never seen before. They've got a plan because they were going to do it anyway if Trump had pulled it off even with the cheating. They weren't aware that they would have to stop the voting in order to push Biden past. And they did. They did. So they stole it. But if that hadn't happened, they were planning on rushing the White House in an attempt for a coup d'etat. If you watch that video from Millennial Millie, you would have heard them saying just that. Just that. Now, that particular group weren't going to put their lives in danger. They were going to put their minions' lives in danger, is what they were talking about doing. Oh, no, they didn't want to get hurt. No. That's the reason you see in the streets today is one rally after the other. And man, that preacher I posted in Sons of Liberty Riders MC, I think that's where I put it. I may have put it in my news feed. He was on fire today. He was on fire. That's something else. And you can see that at TexasBikerRadio.org in the news and comment. That guy. Pretty incredible. You need to go watch what he had to say. I found that he was on fire. Incredible, guys. Incredible.
Well, we saw just a tip of the iceberg of just how stupid, I won't use the word ignorant because ignorance implies one can be taught. But stupidity means there's no hope. And as you all know, any of you out there that have ever tried arguing or even trying to present a case to a liberal is insanity because they just don't listen.
No.
They just as soon kill you
Yeah.
as look at you if you don't go the way they want you to go. Now, before I take this any further, because there is an incident that happened that just demonstrates how stupid our House of Representatives is and what they allowed to happen. But before I do that, let me go on a sidebar. Our friend Vegas from Tennessee,
Yeah.
he happens to be president of our Tennessee chapter, sent us a couple of shirts.
Yeah.
And I saw him commenting online that we look pretty good in them. I want to thank you, Vegas, for sending us your chapter's dress shirt. What do you want to call it?
Yeah. Hey, look, these are
Casual
nice.
shirt. They are very nice. Not only that, they feel damn good.
Yeah.
They're very soft. So thanks again, Vegas. At any rate, let me get back to the story here. We have, when the Congress met for the first time, I think it was Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was I believe, a Methodist minister that gave the opening prayer.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Okay? Gave the opening prayer. And on top of saying amen, which we're all used to saying at the end of a prayer, he had to add a women. Now, I don't know what the hell that was supposed to mean, because this blithering idiot failed to recognize the fact that amen was originally spelled A-M-I-N and is a Hebrew, Greek, and Egyptian type word, and it was originally in in the scriptures spelled out basically AMIN, and when we did our translation, we did AMEN,
Right.
okay? Or AMAN, okay? Has nothing to do with the sex of an individual.
Right.
The translation of that word is basically it can include verily, truly, and let it be so. So, which only tends to make sense because you got to wonder if you take amen literally, why would you say that at the end of a prayer? You know, amen. If it had a gender connotation to it. But it makes more sense if you're saying at the end of the prayer, verily or truly. Some people say, can you feel me?
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, that just demonstrates to me the blatant stupidity of the people that are attempting to lead our country at this point.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
So,
everybody.
you know, we can only surmise that there's more of this to come if these idiots get the majority. Look what we have to look forward to for at least the next 4 years.
Yeah. Hey, let me tell you, over the past weeks since November 3rd, and really before that, but what we're going to see here over the next 24 hours, I think, all the bad actors are going to reveal themselves. We're going to be able to see them all. And so, this you need to, what we need to do is just write down the names as this goes along here, capture the videos, and just keep track of all the bad actors. And, you know, no matter how this plays out tomorrow or days after, because from what I understand, this can go on till January 20th. I hope not. I hope the president nips this in the bud before we get to that at some point and uses the nuclear option.
Well,
And we don't totally know what that is, but it's coming, everybody.
each and every one out there,
Yeah.
including us, needs to push back and resist like hell.
Yes. Yes. And we need to whip these Republicans into line. Into line tonight. Tonight, like I said, send them a message. Fax them, email them, whatever you got to do. Find your representative. They're real easy to find on the internet. Real easy to find. Send them a damn message tonight. Let them know you're going to remember. And they better get into line and behind the president and behind the Constitution and behind the people is what they need to do. Not behind their damn party, not behind the communists, the deep state, the bureaucrats. Behind the people is what they need to do. McCartney and Pence, that theory, there's no way that works out if we allow this to stand. Lin Wood is either crazy or there's something else going on. It's a ruse, is what's happening here. We don't want to see this drag on to January 20th. We want to see this come to a head tomorrow, is what we want to see. And hey, if they want to go burning down some cities, and in general they burn down their own cities, be my guest.
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
I would love to see every one of those blue cities out there burned to the ground.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see if they call out the troops then. We'll see. Did I talk about this guy? Bikers for Trump? Or
No.
did I skip over that?
No, you
Well, I
skipped
didn't
over
mean to do that, everybody. I meant to start out with the biker stuff. But OG, Chris Cox, founder of Bikers for Trump, I mean, last night he got a shout out from the president at the Georgia rally. And then today I look up and he's on the stage there at the Stop the Steal rally. Just before the preacher I'm talking about. Now, I'll go back and capture his part in the video sometime tonight, and I'll post it tomorrow. It's kind of interesting, and that he's up there talking. Now, he said they're getting close to 400,000 bikers for Trump.
I can believe it.
Yeah.
I can believe it.
You know, I wish we could get that kind of passion in our community.
And I would love for any Bikers for Trump groups out there, if you all have a riding group or something, reach out to us. We want to acknowledge you. We'd like to know where you're at.
Yeah. Now it got interesting with Chris Cox, who, as he's up there, and he actually challenged Antifa and the BLM types to take a shot at him. I don't mean a verbal shot. I mean a real shot is what he did. He said, "Hey, if you're wanting to bring the shit, bring it to me at my chest," is what he said. Now, the Antifa types and the BLM types in Washington, D.C., now what they do is they hide on the outskirts of everything that's going on. And if they can catch a few people by themselves and not in a group, they can and will attack you. So we want to send a message to everybody tonight in Washington, D.C., and I hope there's some people watching from there tonight sometime. We got word in a message that the Antifa types tomorrow will be dressed in camouflage and blending in.
And they have MAGA hats on backwards.
MAGA hats on backwards. So pass the word on to anybody you know that might be there. Be on the lookout for these types. Even if it's not true, be on the lookout, because it may be just, more of the same, trying to keep you or create some type of fear. But as long as you're in the big crowds there, you're going to be okay. Don't get off by yourself. Watch your hotel rooms. Now, the gun laws there are crazy in D.C. And today is not like it was when Rick Rose and I roamed the streets of Washington, D.C. while visiting some people at the RNC, where we had an AR-15 between us in his truck.
Hell, they don't want you to have a gun in D.C.
No. And that was about probably 9 years ago, maybe 8. Things have changed. So, and they're looking, those D.C. cops or the D.C. mayor is looking to cause us as much hell as they can, meaning us, the patriots. So we'll see what happens going in tomorrow. This is going to be weird and exciting at the same time.
Hopefully not anticlimactic.
Hopefully, that's right. That's right.
We expect action.
That's right. And tomorrow, we may get to see the power of Pence. He has his power as president of the Senate is what they call plenary. And the meaning of that is absolute. Absolute. Pence does have the power to reject unlawful electoral votes. He can toss. He can toss, no matter what the media says right now. And Pence did seek counsel about his part that he plays. And that counsel told him, you have the power, plenary power, absolute power. And let's hope he uses it and puts this stuff to bed tomorrow and throws this thing into the Congress in a one state, one vote ending. And it goes in favor of Trump. We've got to stop the steal now. Now. Not a week from now. Not January 20th. We need to stop that now. And you need to pass that word on to your senator, on to your congressman. Now would be a good time. Would be a good time. And pass that word on to everybody. Like and share this video that's fixing to go out. And what I'm going to do as soon as we're off of here is I'm going to record it and post it on one of our channels just in case YouTube and others decide to censor us all. Got anything you want to add?
No, I think we said it. Aside from the fact, push back. If necessary, be civilly disobedient.
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't know about you, but I've had it with all this BS.
I have too. We've seen enough. We've heard enough over the last 4 years. Donald Trump has done more for us. More for us. I do believe since maybe George Washington. I don't know. That's the way I feel. He's the best in my lifetime. I've never seen anything like him. I've never seen anybody work so hard for the people and take so much crap.
I think most would have just faded away and said, what the hell do I need this?
He's a fighter, and that's what we should be. That's what he is. And with that, everybody, have a great evening. We'll probably come on if there's anything that happens tomorrow. Whatever it is, whichever way it goes, yeah, we'll be on again.
Stay healthy, buy more ammo.
That's right. You don't have a motorcycle, go get one. Hell, steal one. Come ride with us.
Good night.
Ride it like you stole it. Go ahead and end it. Bye-bye.